obviously favoring heavily into that recency bias of the past matches between these two teams.
I gotta see some from Impunity, bro. I'm trying to see like some Hulk bag.
That Namor stuff can be thrown out for Shroud X. I think that's actually, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I'm like GM. Yeah. Okay. You've been tapped in. You've been tapped in.
Flankers especially, but without the Captain America.
Portal height. I'm gonna use that portal in game next game, chat. All right, let me chill.
I do feel like on Domination we've seen so much good Namor player.
Let me chill. No glaze.
Hands out though. Shroud X versus Teki is beginning, and I mean both of these teams definitely want to win map number 1, because if they don't, that's a bad precipice moving forward, as both these teams, if they lose this series, they are done out of the Ignite series.
Dongmin already on point, and with the team, Avery gonna take that space right back here with Blur at fastball special.
Oh my goodness, that Namor value is just like crazy.
I don't believe the passive was popped just yet, as the space is owned here by Teki around this natural cover, and the point is
the Woolen
just yet. Doom with the throw,
armor it up.
Try to find something, but no, this is a decent map for Wolverine just due to the off angle. You can actually find an off map here.
That's a good off angle by side.
Which is very threatening.
Good pull. Oh my goodness. Insane.
There down goes Avery, and we talk about the success of Namor into these heroes that play aggressively and try to find early picks.
A challenge for any of you guys who've never watched a hero shooter before. By the way, now coming into the site, we'll talk about it later. Incoming.
Brought the ult straight to him. Brought the ult straight to him. I like that. Brought the ult straight to him. Oh my goodness. Brought the ult straight to him. Oh, I like that. That was disrespectful. Heard the copy, brought the ult straight to him.
Definitely back to the original topic, like we've seen in terms of these first fights, right? In the entire map, you can see who's doing the most damage if you're not looking at just stats.
I think they need to low ball. Ooh, I'm gonna shut up though. I gotta see though. But they're at the advantage having the Hulk, because the Hulk could play a little bit. The Mag's playing very like safe, because the map pull off.
Not necessarily hard counter, but soft counter by Namor, as Vision's just pumping out so much damage, building so much.
Like if you watch like the Mag's playing safe because the wolves, but if he goes Hulk, like he can like move a little bit.
Yeah, I really like the composition here from Shroud X to help against
Wait.
which is not matched on the other side.
Oh, that's actually a very solid eye.
From Dongmin finds a few, but no value.
Just sitting on that. That's a good ult.
That's nice as Ad building up to that ultimate at 61. Doom trying to get a second pick here. Dropping back there into the invisible boundary. The entire team's falling as Doom takes out Brute. Make that 3. Impunity cleaning up Waffles here with an ult 2. But now Teki.
I got 3 ults though, but just having that Hulk able to like move, able to make plays, you feel me? Strange shield to block shots, like is way more than like just like Mag kind of sitting in the back line, and Strange is he's blocking every Mag dunk, like.
Okay, we might have to look at that later. That's insane if that's a spot on
unless it's invis or like cloak extended for like how she did right there.
Feels like it's the meta on Domination, even with Human Torch being available at times. It's not in this series. Here comes the fastball special from Avery.
Yeah, and here we go. Avery trying to find some value in the back line. Misses the tackle there. Does have this last stand ready.
Yeah, she's going straight at him with the ult every time. It's just like Mag here's not it, I don't think. It could just be a map thing though, but I don't think Mag's the player. Yeah. Wait, not over yet. Not over yet. Not over yet. Not over yet. Wow.
And this could be enough for them to win map 1.
I feel like these days it's tough to really say like a comp gap and stuff, by the way, as a potential touch comes through.
It's a comp gap though, it really is. It really is for that. Like, they have side denial, side can play height, but then for how much? Gamma Namor stop. Hulk can move, Mag can't really move. I mean, he's literally holding it down.
So free on the Wolverine. No eliminations found on.
They swapping it a little bit.
On Shroud X.
Bucky, no wall, side.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, that was so fluid.
Dang, they swapped too. They went rocket. I don't know. That's for the armor.
They have that invis to counter and help with the wolf, which you see over Blur on the. He's playing the thing here for the reason of not getting tackled, and although he is right now the ace, it's just not as much value as something like a combination with that team up with Hulk and Namor. It's just.
They need a Hulk player, bro. Low key, or ban this kind of like playstyle.
Absolutely. I think right now Teki's going to have to look at things, and in this next round, I mean, Namor also comes more online, right? You have these pillars to work off of. The map moves up and down, so there's a lot of variation that I think this Namor can take advantage of. Meanwhile, Teki's really main change is Avery over to that Bucky. We'll see if it pans out for them. Maybe that damage to the front line can be a lot, especially since people will say how Hulk can get hard countered by some heroes. We'll see if Impunity struggles with Avery now onto that Bucky.
I think they lived that easy.
Goes that dance of the butterfly from tap. Doesn't find value. Does force out some cooldowns. Bruce.
That wasn't it.
Ready with an ultimate here with the Meteor M. But
they're even on ults now.
Get that positioning. Just yet Blur holding that natural cover. Impunity on that Hulk. Gonna pop that ultimate and try to own the space. Dongmin up goes Brute. Does not land again. These fights are so. Impunity with a nice pick on Ad, and that's an early strat line pick.
Okay, early strat line pick. You saw the block also coming through from Vision with the blessings. So he was in the sky blocking that Meteor M. They're still kind of coming back. Those Visions went down. That is removing a lot of damage with that whale. But here comes Dogman with a huge.
That's not bad.
No, doesn't connect on anybody.
And the fights are neutral here. Woofles holding on to that Luna ultimate, just keeping the team healthy on point. Nobody got point.
Wait.
But it does get matched. And down goes Avery from Dongmin.
Wait.
Blur now finds another pick on Dongmin.
There we go.
Three as Doomed goes down tap. Finally showcasing the power of that Psylocke Blur onto Impunity. And again, Teki finally taking over point. And will the
I would like him to try, like, I wish he should just go for like cloak, right? But going for cloak here not be, they have nothing really. There's no bubbles, unless like she ults differently based on if he has ult or not.
This swap could enable Teki for sure.
I feel like Max should be really trying to duck cloak, but maybe like she's like playing it like perfect. That's a good ult though. That's a fire ult. Ooh, this Gambit Namor.
Goes tap. Wow. Vision talking about being one of the strongest Namors. Just showcased again. Dongmin on to Brute.
Yeah, he's putting pressure.
Trying to get this point back early. 33% is a bit, but
and that's
enough to be that impactful.
That works. That's all you need for real.
Always landing those heavy as Nuck takes out Avery, and Shroud X will take this point back.
Yeah, I think based on what we've seen in terms of Namor's North America, I mean, they portaled. Block on both sides. Here he comes through. Here comes the strength through the portal. But as you can see, everybody's working on blocking, making sure you can body block those people coming to the point. But I think it is a valid point to say Vision is probably the best Namor, one of the best Namors in North America, besides like Delena and Rymazing. There's also a few other ones, but regardless, those have kind of been the standouts so far in the Ignite series. Now for Shroud X, they have every ultimate except that Namor whale, but he's building it so quickly. We'll see how Teki responds in this upcoming fight with the Kraken Impact. They won last time this fight, had full ultimate charge.
Yeah, it's roughly even across the board here in terms of all charge. Fidel will get it back, and that will put them ahead as Ad and Tap are going to be low in terms of the charge here. So this fight likely going to go in Shroud's favor. At least odds are. Brute going to take this space early, holding on to that medium ready to play with the freeze there on the hole.
That's an absurd amount of damage.
And there's a nice tackle. The last stand out for Doom does not manage to make anything happen. Does force out some cooldowns as Woofles now uses the dance floor. Brute going to keep the pressure on and take this point hopefully back for the side of Tech.
I'd love to see a Mad Gold like.
But it does get matched again. Great work by these counter alts from Fidel, who are finding
just on it, bro. Impunity. No. That's Dogman. Just on it, bro. Like, I don't know. Like,
Dongman also blocking that one. Now they're coming back through a little bit too late. I mean, losing two members of the team. I feel like Avery's playing this so well on the Bucky, but now everybody's grouping up together, getting that Hulk bubble, playing in the dagger.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Good fry.
Storm dagger. So right now they're
walk down.
Now Tap is just there to clean up again. We saw this previously with Teki.
Yeah,
okay, nice.
Tap onto Fidel again. Teki is finding
it's like they get the value from I. They get the value from I, and then they block every Mad Gold. You know, they get the value from just having Strange and like his shield, but then they don't have to hit a Mad Gold.
I think Tap's there to follow through after cooldowns used to stay alive. So right now, Teki taking full advantage of the Psylocke, but you know we've seen Shroud before again with this whale find eliminations through these. He
gotta dunk something. I'm not gonna lie, he gotta dunk something.
But it's so hard, so much pressure coming through as well as you have final or last stand available. We'll see how
or team up with like Thing maybe, but then it's just like, hey, do you team up with Thing like?
Right now on the flank, just kind of walking in, Namor well ready to go.
Yeah, and again, they are just getting this charge.
Just need something.
Teki doing a good job here. This is what you need to see to try to get this match tied up. For the side of Teki, good pull again. And I like this switch over from Avery.
They're playing the hype well.
Getting a ton of value here and does have that Kraken ready. We know how strong that could be, but Shroud X up in alt charge here. They've got to make a play quickly as Doom does, but do they get enough value? Vision gonna play goes down, and that's a nice as Tap is very powerful and almost at all.
Nice. Wait, good Bucky ult. Good Bucky ult. Good Bucky ult. Oh, that was actually hella stall. They have teleport back. Oh no, they don't. That was close.
Just a little bit too late, but it just happens. The Hulk cannot stall for long enough, and maybe this is what we heard in those interviews when people were talking about how Hulk can get countered by certain heroes. Bucky seems to be that right now.
It's tough, bro. So, I guess the Bucky swap was good. General, I mean, like
that was just so clean by the side of Teki XD, right, man? I mean, that was beautiful from Avery, like you said, with the Kraken impacts, and they brought it back around the corner.
Like looking at it, chat, like
Avery was game winning, or at least map winning on that.
It's like you gotta either always on Groot. We finna see some Groot gameplay. Elite. You gotta you either gotta save for cloak, make your player cloak ults different, or you gotta dunk something. You feel me? Like you gotta dunk something.
But you know, domination, you really have to like kind of lock your comp and build off of your ultimates. Right now, those changes, we'll see if they'll sort of react well, because you get rid of Avery on that Wolverine from the previous map, so that does make sense why you can go over to Groot now. Don't have to worry about the claws in your face. You have to deal with Bucky on that Kraken impact.
I'm gonna see how they play Groot here.
We do see Doom. He's going to maintain that Wolverine. It's not going to be matched by Teki, who are finding not as much success. He's done a great job countering ultimates there with that invisible boundary. But again, as the teams will hold on and go to point 3 for game 1. And this just goes to show you Teki, they want this W. They've done their homework. Can they come through as they are up in alt advantage?
Tab poked out early. Everybody sort of playing back with these hooks from Visions, whiffing on both sides. Avery also looking for his own, right? He was able to get so many of them in the previous round. We'll see if he does it again. Last stand also only halfway through for Doom's side. Here comes the early dance of the butterfly, trying to force out a Shroud's ultimate. Comes out a little bit late, trying to get maximum value out of this. Also towards the point.
Oh, they got two. Thing just sting into Groot. That's a good swap. Let me see something, bro. Yeah. It's like he's like not ulting ults. He's just like pressing Q. Like, but maybe it's something I don't know though. So I'm gonna chill. But
oh my god, what a wall there from Impunity to block off all of the healing. The damage follow up is there. The portal comes out late from Blur, so they'll have a chance to contest the point for a little bit longer. But Tap's gonna go down as well. He's made the swap over to Wolverine. Everybody else is gonna go back to the spawn now as Teki resets. Shroud take control of the point.
Shroud X down in
like maybe it's something I don't know, but I don't know about these maggots, bro. They look a little bit questionable. Just a little bit questionable.
Now still being up 3. That was a masterclass on defense there by Shroud X, who held on, being down in alt.
This or that, y'all can see the they named 2 in like ult and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit questionable on the ults.
Builds up that invisible boundary so quickly. Just had it in the previous fight. Tap now over to the Psylocke, Avery over to the Wolverine. So they've had to make a few swaps. And Avery, oh no, got picked early. The hook from Visions created that opening. And you're probably not going to use any ultimates from Teki. You probably just want to go for a fast reset, and that's tough because
trying to get that mag pick. Just trying to get that mag pick. Stagger. Play the stagger. I'm gonna start doing that. Cause I be going for like the whole marbles, the whole like 6-man, but then like they heal through. I'm gonna just starting to stagger, because sometimes that's enough, bro. Pushing uneven against Groot who can wall off is like highly unlikely. Right before that map change too, so they get that reset, good stall, get a little bit of extra like 5-6 more seconds. That's a good pick. Please, let me see something. Yeah. Wait, nice hold. Oh, this is that LeBlanc. Good block. Good block. That was finna be a LeBlanc.
butterflies is as terrifying, it looks like, because he's able to take down 1 onto 2. And we talked about how good this guy was on Psylocke before. He's been a little bit quiet in this match.
Wait.
Hard for him to find these eliminations by himself. Needs his team to help set him up. And Teki finally controlled that objective and push away Shroud X.
Group 1 team up still on the walk-in. They don't got nothing. I think they got this. They just need one solid group Winter Soldier team up. And then you're fine, like you're golden.
I think it was used a little bit over 3 minutes ago. I'm not 100% sure on that. We will find out, I guess, the hard way if Shroud X is able to retake this point. They do have ult advantage here. Impunity, you know how strong this combination is. You see here, Impunity and Vision. Just keep your eyes out for that, as we will see that Strangling Prison very shortly. Waiting for the cooldowns of the bubble to go away, waiting for that shield to go away, so there's nothing to stop it.
I like the movement. It's silky. Okay, that's just unlucky though. But the crystal reset. That's what makes it so strong though. But that's what makes it so strong is the natural counter for a Brutal is always gonna be like a Loki shift. But when you team it up with a Bucky ult, the clone you put up in there gives him like a guaranteed reset pretty much. Because the wall off and you can just break crystal and get the reset going. That's what that like team up is like. You always see it. Oh, got caught on the other side of the portal. They might win this. That's actually.
It's traded on the backside. Last stand from him, only to connect onto that Loki, and with that, I mean, Shroud X just has
Are they finna choke it?
coming through from them, but they're still looking to kind of fight this. They're sort of making it scrappy as now they come back through with that portal. Hooks can't.
Oh, that's a nice wall, Loki.
Has to jump back to his team, but they just play around this back corner of the point, right? Make sure they cannot
own that.
Also set up tap on that flank. Vision
Own that.
now ready to go with the Kraken impact.
No way, Greed dies.
Avery finds impunity, and the save from Wolfos comes through.
Side behind. Oh my goodness, what a team up. What a team up. Oh my goodness, what a team up, yo. Ding, what a team up, yo. I'm not gonna lie, bro. What a comeback. I was sleeping on him. I'm not gonna lie, he hit some crazy plays with the portal return. Bro, Deadshot told me you went down to GM2. What happened? Let me tell you.
Times it could feel random. It's still 1/3 of the game modes, right? So you have to win on domination, even if at times it feels unfair. Now on the attack of Teki XD's side, we're gonna see them play the Hella alongside the Bucky and with the Hulk out of all characters alongside Brute. So cool to see Teki play that.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen much of that. I think Blur definitely has it in the bag, and Blur's not afraid to pull out things like Cap as well as they press forward. But, you know, definitely a different decision, and we don't see the tight hold here from Shroud X, which I'm a little bit surprised of. I think they've seen, I mean, the other teams have found a lot of success with in the past, but maybe it's just a little too risky, and since they don't have that strange teleport back, that's probably why they're doing it, right? It does make sense that you can't guarantee 3 fights if you don't have that teleport, but this is that angle I'm talking about. You see Doom taking that height in case anyone tries to portal off, and they can immediately drop them in that garbage bin that is that opening here on point 1. So smart idea, but it doesn't look like it came into fruition as Avery presses forward and is staying on top of that Bucky. Fidel gonna find one on tap here and put Shroud X up on the D.
A huge pick off onto tap, and you know, as we're talking about the group being in play and no Wolverine right now, Doom.
What's good, Deadshot?
Another Wolverine play again, grabs him, brings him back to the team. Dongman there with the follow-up. So Teki sort of on the back foot. I mean, it's tough when you're against the Wolverine, but also when you're against that Groot and don't have your own Wolverine. So right now, Teki having to figure things out. They have Blur now over to the Captain America. Maybe you can create a little bit of space towards his back line and force early Shroud X ultimates because they have been built first for Shroud X.
Yeah, and it is at this point up in advantage for Shroud X, who are holding this corner tight. Dongman does have that Meteor, Fidel, Vision, and Nuck as well. Impunity slightly behind. Impunity electing to play that Groot a lot more. Very, very good Groot. You just got to see some big big Strangling Prisons coming up here. Nuck gonna find Blur, and that's another early take from the strategist lines on Shroud X prior to these fights as they're trying to play aggressive here. We talk about Blur able to play that Captain America as well, already making that switch as Doom trying to find an off map and segment.
You remember we played against Fidel? We played against Fidel? You know, I remember playing against Tap. I don't remember playing against Fidel. When we played Fidel? When we played against?
downtown throw.
We played it that way. That's what we played 3 games in a row. Were we hanging or were we getting cooked?
On the opposition from Teki. Alt advantage now going to be back in the favor of
Was he a Punisher? Was he playing Punisher? I think I know what you're talking about. Was it Domination?
America to try to keep the team healthy. Going to run forward, use that to take space, gets knocked right back. And Vision going to collapse right back towards them. Try to negate that ultimate. Nice pick there by Vision onto Avery. Taking that space, only able to find one, but that will be enough for them to hold this priority.
Yeah, they also commit that final stand on the backside. And really just overall great push there from Shroud, right? I mean, unfortunately for Avery, didn't take the portal with the rest of his team. Everybody else sort of well aware of it. Wolfos also had to commit that fate of the world, so it's tough that ultimate is now...
He was fun, so we were hanging, but I remember last game we were making it too close, so he went Ultron and rolled us. Oh, damn. I mean, the crazy part is he played his main as strategist, so like... That just goes to show, like, it's just tough.
Yeah, I mean, this is their map, right? It shows you their practice here. This looks really clean. Obviously, a pretty strong defensible position, especially right here in this corner. Sometimes you'll see the Invisible Woman get popped out just to try to get that push-off map at this first point, but not going to be chosen here. Instead, they're just feeling confident with their composition. It's all about this next fight now. Avery and Brood. Here comes the meteor round from Brood. Will it find Purchase right towards the back?
Yeah!
It does! Brood and Blur going to find 2.
Upset of the century, chat?
3. Are they going to collapse on it? Yes, Doomed. Going to potentially look for a tackle off map.
Gotta dunk that.
But we do see the dance floor. Tough to take that right out the shield. Not able to do so. Thought the timing was correct, but no, not able to get it done. Avery going to walk forward with the pull.
What a pull. That pull wins it. Oh, that wins it, bro. That wins it, bro. Wow, he canceled out the Groodle. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough.
He tried to eat it out there, but now we're entering the second phase of the map. And this is the worrisome part for Shroud is that not a lot of teams do well here, I think, in the second phase on defense, although we do see Wolverine succeed on this point of the map.
I feel like it's such a tough hold.
Does have that ultimate ready to go, so I'd be
The high ground, especially with like team organized play too. I feel like his top part is difficult.
Like I said, very hard on this second part of the map. Not a lot of teams can kind of hold this attack back here, especially with 2 minutes in the time bank on Teki.
Yeah, I may be mistaken, but I think one of the only teams that did it was Shroud X. I think they went to an Ultron composition, but you're right. It's a very difficult position to hold. As once you get one, as you get down that alleyway, you can have your own off angles. You can sweep right and left on height, so it does, make the backline, the strategist, a little more nervous and forced to look over their shoulder and try to get a pull there. Avery just keep using all those abilities and build that charge. Tackled right back. Doom gonna fall. Great work there by Avery to help out a teammate as they do progress forward. Up in numbers, and that is a strangling prison from downtown. Dongman gonna take out 2. Down goes Brute and Avery. We said a very strong Magneto and showcasing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough last stand to use there. Doomed committing on that flank. I mean, they're going to win this team fight, but all it cost Teki was that fate of the worlds, right? Committing 3 ultimates for 1. Now onto the attack, tap close to his own last stand. So we'll see how Shroud do. I think that ultimate is just so impactful that it's tough. You don't really want to waste it. Unfortunately for them, Shroud losing that ultimate for this next fight. Both duelist ultimates. So I think the Vanguard, Dongman, going to have to go big in this fight, but it's hard versus Captain America. Freedom Charge sort of negates the value of Meteor M with the overhealth.
And here comes the beginning. Avery lands that crack and doesn't find a ton of purchase. And there's a throw from downtown Dongman. Not able to find anything there. Alt advantage going to be up here just slightly for the side of Teki. But we'll have a counter all here from Adam.
Wow.
With that meteor ram goes up. Will it land? Looking for one. And bang, it goes down, but no purchase again. Out goes the bond. They're going to walk forward with it. And here comes the last stand.
What a no.
And that's huge. Just tap.
Bro, Tap and Avery from Teki are hooping.
To make things interesting, trying to get through point 2.
Yeah, if they have 4 on the payload, I'm not sure if they touch, but we'll see. That's the tough part. That's what I said about wasting last stand, is you can use it after all these strategist ultimates are over and just connect flush onto every single one, eliminate them immediately, and now we're moving to the third phase of the map. We've seen teams struggle in the second phase of Morocco, and you're seeing exactly why. This third phase, though, I think is definitely more defensible, but if a snowball comes through, that'd be massive. With Blur going down, though, that's definitely going to slow down Teki's attack with 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was good patience there by Tap, who with just an insane last stand, that ultimate gets so much value, especially if your team's coordinated like this. You essentially choose all your cooldowns. If you know where he's going to land, why not throw some of those abilities directly in that path? Just get that raw damage on everyone, as you see Avery using some of those E's there. to just plow through the back line as they do retake the space. This is a defensible position early on, but the tide shift heavily as you press through it, and then again back as a defensible position as you push right to the point as the spawn is so close. Doomed gonna find a last stand soon, trying to find the back line, but no, gonna take the high side. Vision walking through here onto Brute. That's one. Keeping the pressure forward, out goes the boundary, but still Impunity cleaning up Avery. They need to keep this pressure on and not let them go too far, as this is already a very strong push here from Teki XD.
Incredibly strong. 40 seconds left to go now for Teki. I mean, they can sort of work themselves back into this fight. Doomed again with that last stand. He could go huge on his team's side. There's no crystals as well for Shroud though, so it's hard to live even through a lot of these big ultimates from that Kraken impact and tap. But this is going to be a big fight. I'm going to have to look out for both Wolverines and that Kraken impact on Avery's side.
And the space is taken.
How long you hold objective should count more than kills for elo. Ooh, I like that, James. I like that. But then it's like, if you're solo tank, it's like, how do you measure it?
Actually able to charge those claws on Brute walls. For those who don't know, Doom gonna find Brute early, and that's good for Shroud X on the defense. Can they keep the pressure? Avery uses that Kraken impact. Can they get the reset? Not able to do so, but they switch over to Doom here. Doom does have that last stand, and here it is, right into the back line too.
What a freeze.
Oh my goodness, great freeze, but still, yes, actually Blur finds a two-piece. Vision gonna find add tap on a Dongmin, and it's traded, but that could be back in Teki's favor as they push towards the end here for point 3.
Absolutely, and I mean, in that case, both of these Wolverines win for the last stand. Taps was just a little bit bigger, also had the follow-up from Blur. No diving vanguards for Shroud X, so the follow-up from Doom not there. His was a little bit too far forward, and nobody else could really be there, though Visions has that final judgment right. This is a big point for it as well, not a lot of cover. Brute could shut it down with a massive Meteor M.
I do think Wolfles with the freeze there actually was game changing. It was a mini freeze, it wasn't for long, but it did stop the last stand for
Damn.
Vision gets 2, make that soon to be 3. As nobody's on the point. Oh my goodness, how many times?
Well, what happened there was that the Strangling Prison came out and Brute couldn't match with the Meteor M, that final judgment. So, well played by Shroud X. Impunity coming through in the clutch at that last point, right, Shiv? That's huge, I think, for Shroud X to finally close it out.
It's not looking too good for Shroud X. I am not gonna lie, bro. Like, it's not looking good, bro.
Got all the way towards the very end of the map.
Forcing a team to full push here is very difficult. You know, we mentioned that very last point, the spawn door being right behind you. It gives you a very defensible position, so they were close, really close. So that is going to put Shroud X in a scary spot in the forward here, or as we move forward here. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Teki XD in a tough spot. No, Shroud X is attacking, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Shroud X had 2 attacking side, and on the defense, I mean, that's what we saw when we went to that third phase of the map towards the very end. Not exactly a lot of cover there. The only way that I think Teki wins that, and you said it earlier, that was a big freeze as well to slow down Doomed with that last stand. That was definitely nice and clean from Wolfles. Definitely a very good Luna Snow player as well. And on the opposite side, I think the Wolverine play has been clean from the side of Avery, or for Tap rather. Now that we move over to the attack of Teki, they're going to have to kind of wave that aside. They played pretty well considering how things went first point. There was so many lost team fights. It's hard, I think, on this first point for a lot of attacking teams until you sort of reach that second bend. So we'll see how Shroud X does on their attack as Teki moves on to defense.
Yeah, Teki's going to be doing that triple strat strategy, holding up, triple Vanguard strategy, holding up tight here. Shroud X has known to press through that pretty quickly as Fidel immediately, as I say that, Blur goes down. So Shroud X looking clean off the start. Doomed, going to try to find another, but Brute going to find Nuck, and the res comes up from Tap, obviously playing that, you see Rocket right now, just trying to keep the team up here in the front side, buy as much time here as possible. I was surprised.
This is actually hella smart.
They don't have the access to the streams or the teleport back, so that makes sense, but, you know, they just played so clean on the defense in this first point that it didn't really matter. But you can see here, Teki, the value in doing this. They're gaining those ults quickly. Brute almost ready. Add at 71. The most so far on the strat line. Ready to use that just to buy more time. Just wasting time is the goal here. They want to see how long they can last as Avery finds Vision and Add finds Impunity.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we got to build those ultimates up. Maybe I think Vision's a little bit too far forward. Maybe could be building up towards that final judgment, and like we've seen a lot of good Punisher players do. But now Doom's over to that Squirrel Girl. You usually see this kind of come through in these triple Vanguard compositions. We'll see if it pans out for them though.
Yeah, this is essentially, it's like you want to use this just to you want to do something.
Wow. What a stall.
Off of it again, Teki on the start here, holding firm.
Yo, they're not trying to lose.
Almost
Not kinda, bro. Shroud X is getting rolled a little bit. Like, they getting rolled a little bit. They gotta lock in, bro. They gotta lock in, bro. Surely not again. Oh, they're getting. That's a good stall. That's massive. Oh. Wait. Oh. Yeah, they're holding. They're holding at the door, I'm not gonna lie. They're holding that door. Holy. That's crazy stall. That's crazy stall.
One of the hardest maps, I think, to break through this triple Vanguard. We usually see it on maps like Midtown as well. But because you have that inside, because you have your supports and your strategist so healthy and there's no way to really jump on them, they're just in such a defensible position.
They're trying to get Teki.
Yeah, and this is that triple fight I'm talking about. As long as you have Strange, you can guarantee 3, and that is so impactful, especially after you hold it already down to 1 minute.
He's gonna look for eye here. Eye over the bridge, I'm calling it. Triple our defense on this map is consistently played. In fact, that after this Teki with TP. Oh, so you just tapped in, James. You know the ball. You know ball, James. You know ball.
Impunity with a mean strangling, and they're not able. They are, as Vision already has this final judgment again, taking down one. But what do you know? The res. Oh, great teleport.
That was a fire teleport, and a good smoke grenade too.
Again, there's that eye. It does find. Oh, it doesn't find any. And will they be able to take out Dongman? They do. Woofles finds a pick there, but Shroud X still taking this pressure. 30 seconds on final fight territory.
Dongman maybe a little bit too far forward there. Teki rezzed as well. Brute. So Brute's back in the fight like we saw. And then that thing now swapping over to that Captain America alongside Avery on the Doctor Strange. So currently Teki's still holding on like you mentioned. 16 seconds left. This hold is looking even better than Shroud X's.
I mean, look at this composition. You see
wow.
Rocket here. Waffles on to Doom. That is massive again. Just a demon out there.
They're breaking it too.
More massive than the low taper. Faye, we do see it all very close here. For Avery is gonna hold on.
He's gonna eye this. Yeah, he's gonna hit the Eye of Doom, chat. Eye of Doom. Free Eye of Doom. Free Eye of Doom. Free Eye of Doom. Oh, smart. What a block! Oh my goodness. Eye of Doom. Eye of Doom. Funnel of Doom. Yo, Blur, they're hooping. What's good, Michaela? They're hooping, bro. Teki is hooping, bro. They're literally hooping.
Incredibly brutal right now for the side of Shroud X. I mean, they have to funnel towards this objective. Overtime ticks down, and they got first point held by Teki XD. They are up 2 on Shroud X, about to close it out.
Oh wow, bro!
Out of the Ignite series.
Wow. Teki looking really good. I mean, look at that. Tap was on Rocket the entire game. The entire defensible game, excuse me. But that's crazy. Like, they were running that triple the whole time, never swapped, stayed consistent. They pulled. It was just a masterclass of that front defense, you know? And I think it's genius. I think it's genius by Teki to
what a block by Cap.
So they can't do that. It does make it far less valuable when you cannot guarantee the second touch. And that was just a showcase right there because Shroud X definitely making the right plays and they were coming through. You can see the stat lines look great across the board. Impunity maybe not getting as many finals, but still, they played strong together. It's just that too much time was burned in the beginning there.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the first team to kind of do that Doctor Strange banning was a team like Team Envy. I think Team Envy was doing it as well pretty consistently, making sure they can't play that Doctor Strange. And it is true. I think you bring up good points alongside the fact that like they have a really good Doctor Strange player. So, you know, it's sort of a 2 birds for 1 stone type of situation, right? And I think right now, Teki, I mean, what a turnaround from them so far, right? Shroud X looks to be like a team that's sort of kind of coming back right after, you know, sort of not necessarily struggling in other tournaments fully, but just like kind of coming together as a unit. And right now, Teki taking the limelight straight up, right? I mean, they're able to just do so much, I think, through that triple strategist, triple Vanguard comp like we saw. And then also, I think like Tap had a masterclass on Wolverine as well. And we've talked about this man a lot. We've talked about as well the backline. You talked about Wolf's finding a very crucial pick at the very end on Division. So a lot of things went right for Teki XD, and I think it's through their teamwork and their overall cohesion. So we talk about teams like Egodeath a lot, about like these unsigned teams, but Teki deserves all of the credit for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think this was really a product of Shroud X not
The Shroud payroll buff.
It's a product of Teki playing insane together. They just looked
Bro,
so
this
good.
I've been seeing this guy. They said he got MVP every single game.
Or if it was getting a pick and it just kept happening.
I don't see you holding first point like that in rank. Bro, I literally, bro, you don't be, bro, like, bro.
Yeah, pull him in with the Onk. And everybody's just gone. Oh, wait, Doomed is the one to fall. Huh?
Wow, I don't even know how that happened. Yeah, I'm not even sure how that happened.
I mean, Brute's just him, I guess.
This might be crazy.
This is where we talk about Brute, one of the best Magneto players, but damn. I mean, you talk about mental lapse there. Now they're going to have to come back through. Doomed over to that Star-Lord, though, so they're back onto that triple res composition. We've seen them play before, Shib.
And here we go, Avery keeping that damage out, trying to build towards that ultimate. Teki XD down a bit in terms of charge, just actually roughly even. And here we go. We do see a complete change of composition. I actually like this a lot. We do see the Guardians comp coming out here from Shroud X, definitely able to run that. Haven't seen it yet in this series, so this could be what they need to be more aggressive, to teleport play, to set up behind, to spin to win. Obviously with no bubble, still playing aggressively. Very difficult to find value in taking out a Star-Lord while he's dancing like that in the sky. So much movement because you don't need to aim. It's all about movement at that point. Vision gonna find Ad though, and that is huge. Shroud X looking like a different team right now. With
Batman low div. Shroud X is getting fried a little bit. Just a little bit though. Just a little bit.
And they will get very close on point as they're slowly staggering down. A couple on the point here. Now, and used ultimate there for Brute, who does not connect.
Well, man, I got you. I'm out of here.
Tap, who is very low. Down goes Tap, and that is point one for Shroud X with 5 minutes on.
Yeah, I definitely got a Shroud looking bad. Yeah, bro, I don't know, bro. I came back and they got a cap 3 to send it to OT. That is crazy.
I'm not sure because I do feel like they are really good at playing this composition, as well as honestly in the matchup against the Ultron and the Luna Snow alongside Mantis. I don't feel like it has a massive advantage, but it does seemingly play well into that comp. So from what we've seen out of Shroud X, I'm just surprised they didn't play it on the defensive side earlier.
Yeah, I'm curious too. You got to be a fly on the wall in the room. I'm curious what the conversation was. Maybe they found that it wasn't as successful, or they didn't need to use it, or they didn't think they needed to use it into Teki, right? Like it all kind of depends. I wish I could, be there to hear their thought process, but you are seeing value out of it so far. Shroud X heavily up in alt advantage. Elite after this is Impunity going to start rushing in with Cap here. Impunity obviously strong on these semi-dive brawl heroes that get in there quickly. Cap a little more diving, excuse me, than brawl, but we do see some strong plays. Space taken, and now it's finally going back. Dongmin finds a ton.
That's a good ult.
Tried to make it two, but great bubble there from the side of Brute to keep the team healthy. Great sleep as well from Ad to buy some time. I really thought that was going to be bigger than it was, but it was a good idea and well executed. Just great defense.
Yeah, I mean,
Every game went all 5 games, no sweeps.
With his own, Dance of the Butterflies for that soul bond alongside Fidel.
Peak name, I know.
Okay, and here we go again. Out goes Fidel with that bond, and down
LeBron.
Onto Nuck there.
Now today it's been looking like very sweepy. I ain't gonna lie.
Weaving that thing under. Nuck is gonna res back though, so the number's a little more even. Vision. Down goes Nuck again from Tap really quickly, turning that around, found that position and just waited it out. Vision gonna res back, just down 1 number right now, although it may seem like more. The reses are very strong, and here comes the team res as Nuck is back in this fight again. The bond goes out, Doomed on the back line. The dance floor is counteracting. Brute, oh my goodness, down goes Nuck and Vision. Not missing with these right clicks. Tap again on Fidel. A ton being utilized and no value as Teki XD comes out on top.
And to send it back to the ban phase as well, as we, potentially see the end of Shroud X if they can't find, any sort of ground. Again, another reason why in the ban phase they banned out those duelist only, why Teki is now in a great position, because they have that Magneto that you keep pointing out, shit, because you notice how much value Brute's getting. Also, you talk about how much that Magneto counters Star-Lord, on top of the fact that the Magneto sets up Star-Lord. So there's the fact that they had the Doctor Strange and not the Magneto definitely counters this comp a little bit. So it feels like Teki definitely thought of both things. They thought about the fact that you can't damage boost that Namor. Also, on their attack, they can't, shield their Star-Lord in with the blasters. So many things have resulted in Teki XD having a large advantage here in terms of their compositions.
Yeah, I like how Teki and Shroud X making a huge composition change here again. Elected to no longer use the Guardians. They are going to keep Mantis on both sides for that damage boost, and that's going to be for that Ultron. Ultron dealing a ton of damage, but with that boost, it is significant. It's terrifying as it does clean up KOs like it's job, which it is. Avery using that Rage of Ultron, not able to find much. And going to counteract with his strategist ultimate. This is good for Shroud X, who still have 1 minute 40 on. Forcing out ults and not utilizing or overcommitting too much is what you need to do. As I say that, though, Nuck going to walk them right in. Doom, though, finding Avery, that damage boost, finding some value. Got to get the shield up. They do, and it does block Brutes, Meteor, Impunity onto Woofles. And here we go again. Shroud X with a full composition change is now finding a ton of value. Tap going to try to buy some time and come in again with that dance, or potentially saving it. Oh my goodness, what an exile there from Impunity to shut down Avery's teleport in, and Dongmin gonna wall up the point so they can press this through for point 2.
And they have to slowly walk past it themselves. And like you said, Impunity, huge exile from him in the spawn. That was massive. Also, honestly, the change to Ultron has helped them a lot. I mean, Tap has been a problem, like we've seen so far, and the fact that you're playing triple strategist alongside Ultron just makes it so these dives are not as strong necessarily from Tap. Although Shroud X, with their composition, they're going to need to get a few ultimate plays that are huge, because 2 minutes and 13 seconds on third phase is not exactly a lot, especially on this map on Hall of Vijalia.
Yeah, we are going to see another large whale here. Vision known for landing these things like a champion. Obviously no damage boost besides if Fidel can get that cloak out quickly onto the back line. Here comes the Dance of the Butterfly. They are in that Dagger Storm. Very good at counteracting that ultimate, as it does give you 55 HP per second, and the whole team stacks in there. That just gives Cloak a ton of charge. So great decision making and great focus there as a team, walking them forward again. And Shroud X now with 1 minute 40 on, looking pretty good as they shove in a with ult advantage. And here goes Avery with that Rage. Not able to find a ton of value just yet. Dongman ready to try to get a huge Eye of Agamotto, bring it back to what we saw yesterday.
Yep, going to be up in terms of one ultimate here. Can they take advantage of it, though? Everybody's going to have to group up here. Fidel trying to back up to the team. Did use that cooldown to escape, and Tap's coming up with the Dance of the Butterflies. There's not going to be a ton to deal with it necessarily just yet. As Shroud X with the shield, they could stay alive, as well as deal with this Freedom Charge from Blur, who starts it off. Nuck counteracts with the Soul Resurgence.
Yeah, good play there by Nuck, walking towards the back line. Not able to find any purchase yet on a pick, and the whole team of Shroud X playing very patiently, forcing out these ultimates. Now only 3 available, as Tap will be there soon for the side of Teki. And here comes everything for Shroud X. Doom is launching all Impunity as well. Dongmin with the eye. Dongmin finds 2.
Wait, they're even.
And but Tap gets 2 out of the back line.
They win it because they have cap. Just oh wow.
What a trade. Tap really clutching up there, needed to do that and does do it. Oh, great exile by Impunity to escape. But wow, that was almost a Shroud X push through until Tap popped off.
Yeah, that was
wow. What a
I mean,
oh.
Dongmin, he kind of probably feels like he was the one that wanted to fall. Tap though, hiding. 23 seconds left. We're gonna have to watch that man, because we've seen how good he is. Visions on the opposite side with that whale, gonna be one to watch for as well. It's gonna be Visions versus Tap. I mean, Tap on that flank, he's gonna be hiding, coming through in the last second to both strategist players with Shroud X, who have to be aware. Same thing with Doom.
7 seconds they have to touch here. 4, 3, will they get on? And they are on right now, so it will buy time. Yeah, they do have one on. Impunity.
Wow. Wait.
Down 1, traded right back there. Doom down to Avery. We gotta get
Wait.
the Hulk here back in form to try to fight, but no, down goes Hulk. Out goes the whale. It does not land, and that is trouble. Moby Dick just whiffing completely.
They're down 2 though.
Vision finds Blur though. Out goes the invisible boundary. Teki. Blur goes down with all. That's a tough look.
Wait, they choke.
And that's a terrifying spot to use it. Is in those alleyways. You really can't counteract much, as it is surprising. Tap trying to find an off-angle play, ready to touch if need be. Doom gonna find Avery.
They get it.
And there is that eye. It gets frozen, and they do take it through 3 and tie it up, and we go to OT.
If this is like the ultimate.
I I think I can't watch anymore.
Can you CC Magneto? Like him in the air? No.
This is like genuinely like it's like
Once he's in the like everything's absorbed. Anything you could throw at him gets
and
absorbed.
Teki, you talked about how they're very similar teams. Like Teki,
Like anything like any projectile will get consumed by his ult.
Unfortunately, Shroud, I mean, they read it. Doomed out of the sky. Avery got shut
Like a
down.
snowball gets
Not enough
consumed.
support in the skybox, and I hate to say it, but it's the story of both teams, man. It really is. It's the I hate that I don't want to be mean, but you know it's the battle of the choke artists. Sometimes, like it really feels like that. Like both teams at the peak of the pinnacle of the game, when it gets really intense, I think struggle. It really feels that way because Teki close to finishing out Sentinels, and then in overtime, Sentinels just had the most insane push, and now Teki, when they had all of the right plays, the right tools, they just lose it again.
Bro,
So,
there's hope, bro. If they come back all the way, you know how crazy that'd be?
Still not in either team's side.
Yeah, I mean, this is more than a battle. This is a war. It seems like they're clutching up in the moments that you can see. You almost can feel, it's like palpable. You can feel the intensity here. As you look at the entirety, Dongmin, again, with MVP bouncing back heavy here on that Strange, and that's why that lock comes through. Doomed, 21 eliminations there, 10 finals, looking really strong as well. And that's on that side of damage boost, but they are going to drop the Mantis now on both sides, at least so far in this composition. It's all about, if they can hold him here on point one, it gives you that energy you may need to press through and try to turn this sweep around, get momentum back in your favor. Teki XD had him there, and they are going to actually have Ad go back to the Mantis, keeping Avery juiced up here, and instead Nuck is going to be playing the Cloak and Dagger. Fidel going to be on that invis, and they are going to try to use damage boost from the Cloak play.
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, the Mantis only putting that on one. The Terra Cape can connect onto multiple people and give your team a huge damage boost, but in terms of how they're playing right now, it's super grouped up together. Shroud have all of the positioning. Oh, the blur!
Wow, that is huge.
Whoa.
Yeah, that is huge. That is a massive pick there for Vision. Now it has to be a teleport to play back. I mean, 14 seconds.
Exile left Doom.
The pressure on. If I'm Shroud X, walk him in a little bit.
No touch. No touch.
Now this panic, this fear makes it so they're more vulnerable. But Teki XC clutches up in moments like this. Shroud X needs to do the same, keeping the pressure on. There is that drone, and the teleport almost kidnaps there. It does kidnap Dongmin, who walks through it by accident, comes back through the portal.
Yo. What a portal.
Impunity trying to dive directly towards the back line. Doom going to be using that Ultron's Rage. All the Qs being popped as Ad. Does the same. Doom as well. Fidel at 90.
Why are they finna come back from this?
Take the point. First tick goes down for Teki.
Wow.
Halfway through. You don't want to let that happen.
Nice cloak goal. No, it's another one.
Out goes the bond. Does it keep the team up? Eternal is going to hold on, but they are down in numbers.
No. No. Oh my. Wait.
Fidel goes down too, and that was a pick there, but now it's an overcommitment of ults. You almost want to hold on when you go down.
No, bro.
You can't decide if you
Choke a Doom.
even being down numbers, or if you need to win the next fight right outside of this garage. That is a tough look. Is now
I think it's a GG.
be closer to ult advantage. Oh, that is a
What a portal. It just stumbled and made them ult burst.
Even being down a number early with 15 seconds on and retaking with that teleport to take the point.
Now, overtime, gonna go to 0. Here's that portal that they come out on the other side. Ultimate's there. They do have that whale, but Blur also sitting with Diabogamoto.
Yeah, we're going to see a damage boost come out here and then the whale to follow right up just to try to get a combo wombo. But at this point, it's all about Blur with this eye. This could be terrifying. Tap is ready for another dance of the butterfly. His Cutterflies have found so much value and forced out so many.
She's getting old after old after old after old, bro.
As they do hold on, they stick inside that bubble, as you saw there. That does build that ult very quick here for Nuck, who's back at 83%.
Diabogamoto shielded, gets the squid. Not enough, but you do get the cooldown out of the name, or that could result in something later on.
They're living.
Still holding onto this whale, ready to make a play with it. Down, Brute not able to find value there. Teki finding a ton here with results, but already Avery back here to
what they saving for?
Pop soon, Impunity and Nuck. Out goes that Eternal Bond again. Vision trying to look for a
there we go.
Impunity with a nice pick.
There we go.
And Vision on to Ad. This could be the take they need, and way to come back and hold this after that take. But now all the pressure's on attack. They should be able to own this, but we'll find out shortly. Yes, they do. As down.
Dang.
Yeah, I thought they almost won it. I mean, Doomed got picked onto that Ultron, but they're able to come back through. Huge stuns, huge follow-up with the whale, slows down that soul resurgence. So Tap almost played it perfectly, had to double dash away, lived. Unfortunately, the rest of his team got caught out, but Like you mentioned, I mean, Teki got it so far. Shroud X now over to attack. I mean, last time we seen Teki in a situation like this, they were midway through the map on Spider Islands. Now we move over to convergence. Maybe first points are easier to hold, but still so much pressure on both teams. Tournament life on the line for Shroud X. Teki as well. They could punch their ticket to the next round. Not the China just yet, so there's still another game they would have to play later, but a huge adrenaline dump this game is sure to be. As at the moment, Teki, you know, so much pressure on them to close out against Shroud X right now.
Yeah, I mean, heart rate's through the roof right now. That money on the line, the trip to China on the line here. These teams, somebody is not going to progress forward, is going to be taken out of the Ignite series, and I know how much it means to them. But I know there's chances for them to come back in the future as we progress through this season. But at this point, it's all about making history and being in China at the first ever LAN event. So I know teams want it. I can't imagine how these two teams are feeling.
Fortunately for them, I mean, there's that qualification into stage 2 is not necessary, as they would be automatically qualified. So at least there's some solace in that. But regardless, like you said, Shib, there is so much pressure on the line. I'm just thinking of ways to potentially cope with what potentially could happen here as Teki XD. Similar comp they played earlier. Shroud X back on that name war again.
Yeah, Teki not going to change up this comp at all. They're finding value with Avery giving that damage boost, and, you know, throwing into this Psylocke, and tap on Psylocke is already a threat enough. Imagine that extra damage here. Shroud X already having to press in, but they are shoving them back into that corner. The height being owned there, as you see Blur try to take out Impunity. Impunity just jumping all over the place as you need to with Hulk. Out goes that. Oh, as long as you can dance as a team inside of that.
Wait.
Get that all quickly. Great pressure here by Dongmin, who shows
capping.
back, and we do see the entirety of the team force backwards. Good space here by Shroud X. Impunity doing a great job jumping all over the place and diverting focus tap on the high ground. Here comes
Cap no.
and potentially getting that all Vision onto
They cap early.
again. Vision, one of the strongest Namor players, the team saying the very best in the business.
Get him off, 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 get him off.
Oh, good blind there.
Surely not, right? Surely not, right?
Advantage is very close here. This is going to be a huge fight, as we will see.
Surely not, right?
Yeah, I mean, these eliminations are big.
Surely not, right?
Comes back. They needed to find those eliminations, because otherwise Shroud's ultimates were built up, and like you said, here they are.
And out goes Avery with that rage. Doesn't find a ton, as Cloak is going to hide everyone.
Surely not, right?
Back there for the side of Doomed, who also not able to find any picks. He does force out a few, and here comes the eye from Dongman. A little bit too high. The way, oh, gonna land and take out Avery. Is that enough? Down goes
Yo!
Looks like Shroud X are up by 2. Can they keep the pressure on? Shoving forward with the dance floor.
They still got Invisible. They still got Invisible. Shields up.
Tap does have the dance butterflies, but it's met by the invisible boundary. No way, it's traded.
And Hoko.
He's gonna fall as well.
Cap on, cap. The TP. TP a Doom stall. Cap stall. TP. Kill the tanks.
Vision onto Boom, Dongmin onto Avery, and Shroud X do it. They shove through, they get the job done, and they clutch up when they need.
It's not over.
Unless, no, there's no chance. It's 1-1 at this point, and this is Shroud X as they take home a W.
By the hair on the chinny chin, bruh. By the hair on the chinny chin, bro. That's crazy. Win or go home. Talk about like barely skimming through it.
And I'm curious to see what they do. And you know what? The fact that we had to burn into T'Challa, you know, I think for the side of Teki, the Luna ban was great. And I think you got to kind of stick with that, honestly, because I mean, I would not be surprised if Shroud X wants to run that Namor stuff yet again, or even ban it out. Like, it just force Shroud X to play something else besides that Namor composition. Because I think Burn into T'Challa is one of the best maps for the Namor Hulk composition. We'll see what Teki does. I think, you know, they did deal with it well when they had that Bucky. But regardless, it is really good on this map.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I'm wondering why that hasn't been chosen yet, as it is so common. You know, they're willing to run anything, and that Shroud X is one of those teams that they have so much in terms of their roster, in terms of what they can pull out, and down goes that Luna, like you mentioned, happening there. But still going to be Hulk and Namor available. They are going to have Ultron available again on both sides, at least so far, as we get into the final ban here from Shroud X. So, you know, I think the bans have definitely changed, and I think Shroud X has found a comp that works. But we know Teki always plays aggressively, and they play around these very strong duelists these aggressive vanguards, and these strategists that are constantly getting MVP, just looking really good out there. Such a solid team, so confident together, but Shroud X really stepping it up in those intense moments.
And they're allowing that Psylocke to be played again on tap side. I mean, I guess the real answer for Teki XD there, if they do play this Namor stuff again, is go back to that Bucky stuff, right? It feels like the Bucky was shutting down the Hulk. A lot of the value Impunity was finding was negligible. It does really change on domination, I suppose, and also same thing with Convoy and Convergence. You kind of want to stick with the composition, keep up that snowball, especially if you feel pretty confident with that Ultron composition. But it doesn't necessarily feel like Shroud X were hard countered by that comp as well. Regardless, heading into Burn of T'Challa, the second Wakanda map of this series, I mean, it's anybody's game still. Like, I feel like the slight changes in composition could really impact the overall look. And, both teams, I'm sure, are going to roll out with something interesting but familiar.
Yeah, and we see that, again, the percentages shift again. They were on Teki's side heavily in the last map. Now, back with Shroud X, but look at that number, roughly even. You got fans on both sides. This is intense.
These Shroud X gets it, bro. How did they get the second one?
Honestly, I would have expected it after that performance, really finding value. And then when they do make that switch and they do throw those whales out there, that combination of ultimates maybe a little bit slept on.
By the way, that's Blade's bed, right? Just off topic.
It was. He's awake now, man. He's gone. He's no longer there. Yeah.
He's gone. He's headed to your house, Shib.
Didn't even make the bed, man. It's messed up. You know what I mean?
I know. Left it. Boy, he's got his friend there. He's got the Black Panther with the eyes, with like freaking out. Like that Black Panther just saw the last map. I mean, he's just like absolutely raging after that one.
Yeah, what we talk about a lot here is they do break the center of this map if you're running flyers right now. They're not going to be doing that because it looks like only Avery, at least Shroud X won't want to, as Avery's going to be the only one in the sky at this point with Ultron. But Blur going to be on the Venom, and we see Brute back on that mag, consistently sleeping right now from the Mantis. Mantis, again, they are running that damage boost. They actually have the full Guardians comp here. They want Doom to pop off, and they do allow through the bubble, and that combination is terrifying. Spin to win with the bubble, so you will see Impunity consistently throwing that bubble on Doom.
Well, and we're seeing them play the triple comp as well for both sides, and I figured maybe Shroud X could benefit from playing this Namor stuff, but didn't want to play against the Bucky. So it's interesting that they did play that. Regardless, now here comes that Eternal Bond. Ultimates have been built. Only one elimination.
Wow.
In the sky, though. Dude, nice tracking.
Yeah, great work there by Dune. I mean, that was disturbing, just not missing a single shot and then spinning to finish it off as Dune finds Brute. Well done again. That blaster barrage is so, I mean, it's so valuable. Everyone knows it, but if you don't, for those who may be climbing ladder, when you are using that blaster barrage, use your flight, your meter of flight, because you can actually use that flight during the animation of the blaster barrage and kind of take any sort of Z-axis direction, use that ascend and descend, and just consistently juke. It is so hard for the enemy to hit you, especially if you have a bubble, and you get alt charge incredibly quickly. And at this level, you'll see them doing it all of the time.
And I'm dumb, by the way. Completely flew over my head that Magneto went through, resulting in these bubbles coming through on the Doom in the sky.
Oh, double bump.
Magneto blocked from the sky, the meteor on the other side on Brute.
And Doom
Rescom might be the play for them.
At this point, not going to get a ton of value there, but it does, give them some time on point. 36, and here comes. They do a great job at using that Dagger Storm to counteract, but still find Dongmin through that. So at this point, they're just going to hold the point for as long as possible, and then reset together. 44 on the clock right now. Avery. Oh, here comes the res. Dongmin's back, and they're going to potentially bond up, and that is very valuable. This pick rate may not matter. Right back into the res again. Remember, when you're on Warlock, your body is the beacon for the res. It's not the location of where you put the beacon. It's actually where your body is. So walk in after the fact, and if your team falls, you'll be able to bring them back. That is a tough look there, throwing that right into the middle. Unfortunate there for Impunity, but the idea is still there. Going to take out Impunity after that. Double whammy there. It's got to hurt, but 66 already for the side of Shroud X.
And they're still alive. They come back through Eternal Bond. They're building up all that point, and that was Vision, with that huge resurrect on the bottom left. You saw him slowly sort of walk away from the point, resurrect Domlin, bring him back into the fight. Now they have Agamotto after Wolfo's ultimate is gone.
Here goes that eye.
They are waiting for that.
A lot of value. Dongmin getting some value with those over the last map, and nothing there. Not going to res back up, and still Shroud X.
Res gone.
They're holding on to this point. They're not too worried about it. Doom goes up in the sky. Brood going to find Vision, though. Vision may not have that res back. We'll find out shortly. If so, there goes Doom with that spin. This is what I'm talking about. Notice the flight just juking everywhere. Very difficult to hit tap find Vision after the res. So the res does come through, and another pick as now Avery going to use that rage of Ultron to find two more.
Yes, bro, they're still going.
As Avery finds four.
I'm watching the Ignite games.
And Nice plays.
I'm watching Ignite games.
Sometimes you have to be that sacrificial lamb if your vision, you know, on that Adam Warlock took the brunt of that damage from Brute in that Meteor M, resulting in him going back in that that cocoon to come back. But they're switching off of it. Now they're going back over to that Namor composition. I figured, you know, they were doing good actually with Doomed on that Star-Lord, to kind of let the Doomed carry sort of angle on that Star-Lord. But now they're back over to this character, onto that Namor, just building up a whale, considering they only need to win one fight. We've seen this with like sort of Storm and Jeff combination with the Eat. You know, nowadays we see it kind of with this Mantis now alongside that Namor with Doomed on that Ultron.
And here we go with the engagement again. Blur, oh, kind of messing it up there. Tries to get the dive. He's going to use that ult right with the shields. It does actually wait a little bit. It does go through, but that combination ultimate essentially wasted, as it does actually. Fidel does force out the bond at least, but that shield from Hulk Impunity, incredible timing. Honestly, almost negating two ultimates and then allowing Fidel to ult on to point. Shroud X has found their rhythm, and there is that change as we're talking about to that composition they run so well. Vision back on the Namor, and Teki just does not want to seem to ban this thing out, but it's all about this next fight as we do have the whale available. Dongmin with the Eye of Agamotto, that combination, seen a ton of value so far. Tap finds Doom, though, who is now also on the Ultron, and this is looking like Teki will hold on with ult advantage. The whale goes out, does not land, but it is.
Oh, wow.
Does it find value? I don't believe it does. So that's a couple ults that are being used with the veil, but they do have points.
Come back.
Yeah. That's a good call.
They flip the point, but it doesn't really matter because they're still winning the fight. Apologies for that shit. Didn't mean to ruin the flow. Tech,
you're good, brother.
Reclaims it. 52% on the board. Shroud now have to come back, and I don't know. I mean,
wow, they got all the ults too.
It just feels weird switching it up in the middle of a round, and also with how Teki was playing around that you saw. I mean, they zoned out that whale. They knew what to do against it. They just popped that soul return.
Should kept Star-Lord.
Also have Avery connect on the drone to keep them healthy. So as long as everybody avoids that center area and there's no Lunastone in the game, it makes it a lot easier to kind of deal with that damage.
Avery again starting off here with Ultron's Rage. Going to look directly.
Wow,
see how tanky that Gamma Squid is. It is
that team up.
That is a huge combination. There's that combination they were looking for before, as both Blur and Tap all combo up. 85 on now. And now Teki XD with a reverse sweep in terms of point percentage. Gaining their way through. Will they be able to touch with a teleport?
I think they just used it too, right? So there's no portal play here now, and they have to send Impunity to touch, but he's going to go into Bruce Banner form, and, you know, that, unfortunately, with that character, you know, you'd lose that point percentage for a second. Here he comes. Overtime ticks down. Do they have ultimate? Shroud's not even close to anything, so, I mean, they're just funneling in no Adam Warlock to bring back that Star-Lord. It's just one by one.
Wait, Global.
Is a pick on Nuck there. They are going to stall a little bit on point, but at this point it seems inevitable, like Thanos, Brute, and Ad holding on as Ad now pops off. And at this point, they're going to commit no matter what to get this first map win. Teki.
Wait.
Patient composition holding on as Blur takes
okay,
out
now.
Fidel, and Waffles, and that's going to be enough as Teki takes point one.
They just have it, and then like they just lose it. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Like I liked it at the very beginning for sure, but maybe not halfway through the map. I don't know. Like, you're at 99, you're doing well with Visions on Star-Lord. Just let him cook, man. I mean not Vision, sorry, Doomed on Star-Lord. Like, Doomed was doing so much on Star-Lord with the Magneto and stuff, and I don't know. I mean, there's got to be some reason in the comms. Maybe Doom not feeling totally comfortable in the Star-Lord, understanding the Meteor M's always a problem. There's a lot of things I'm sure going through Shroud X's head as they lose that first round, which is a solid.
I mean, their side Hap is literally 23-0
Namor Squid, especially
with side like 8 funnel hits.
Especially when you have Tap on the other side, 23-0. Man didn't die a single time.
Literally, bro.
On top of 8 elimination final hits.
Yeah, I mean that's disgusting. But I'm with you. Like, why change the game? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was working really well for you guys, and you were holding on tight all the way to 99, and then you come back with a switch comp. I just don't think it was necessary, as they were playing so well with it. As we do see the complete return in competition here.
Well, they're getting off the Magneto now. Now they're on to that Captain America. I mean, it makes sense if you want to go for dives and stuff, but man. I mean, they're really messing with Impunity's hero pool right now because he's done the Hulk, he's done the Magneto, he's gone to a lot of stuff. We'll see what happens, but Teki XD, ultimate advantage now. Shroud X understanding that probably maybe want to win this in this neutral.
Yeah, we will have Vision soon. It's very difficult to get a ton of value with Warlock until the later fights when it gets a little more hectic, especially early on like this. You're not going to just pop that thing off the rip. But Nuck holding on to all Dongman with the Eye of Agamotto. Will that get market value. Avery just pumping out damage, breaking down shields, and locked back into a corner. There's that eye, and that is big. Can they collapse? Dongmin gets a three-piece, an absolute beast here with the Eye of Agamotto, and that's how you need to start this map if you want to start getting some charge and progress forward with an advantage.
And the first fight win, we've seen it before. Can they do it again? Everybody sent back to spawn on Teki XD side. Shroud's going to win the point. I am going to use in comparison to Brew with that Meteor M. The damage negated for Shroud X now. They have to come back in. Meteor M is gone. Doomed should have a free ultimate after Shrouded. His ultimates are gone, but tapped with the Dance of Butterflies is always scary to look out for. Fidel going to have to watch that. Also, Tap can maybe get a one-shot even before these Shrouded ultimates are popped, but the Resurrects are always a thing you have to worry about with the Adam Guardians composition.
Yeah, I think right now Impunity is just on the jump on the Luna position and just distract, very similar to how Blur is handling the backline here. But the difference is when you have Warlock with Bond available, if you have that sleep ready from Nuck, it is far more difficult. Yes, there's the freeze and the sleep as well, but Warlock Bond is by far one of the best counters to any sort of dive positioning. And here goes the spin to win by Doomed, obviously without the shield. Blur finds vision there. Rez likely is up, hasn't seen that fall, and there's that Rez Nuck on the Brute, back on this.
What about they not Luna Venom team up? I wonder why he's not like Luna Venom team up.
Who finds value onto Nuck, who just rezzed up. Oh, excuse me. That was actually Vision, I believe. So Nuck's right back into the fight again. Vision still holding on to that Warlock Rez Dongmin with Eye again and Nuck. And it looks like Shroud X are back on their game, feeling confident again as
he wasted portal.
Is going to actually cancel that TP and elect to not use it.
Well, yeah, that cooldown still gets used too, right?
Yep.
So
3 minutes.
I don't know. I mean, like, it was tough because any elimination Shroud X finds is massive. No Resurrects for Teki XD, right? So Blur going down. I believe it was Brute also falling. A lot of these, even one elimination matters because if you trade out an Adam Warlock who has the res, that matters. Look at Impunity, by the way, lurking over the top, ready to go for a dive onto the back line.
Alt advantage again, Shroud X. Brute, what a neutral shot there. Down goes Doom. Does have Rez up. Back into the fight he goes. And that's where those trades are so annoying to handle, right? You call it out that you got to pick. And you find out the hard way that you did not in the grand scheme of things. Avery got to get walked on here by Mantis. Nuck playing hyper aggro. Take that space because you can be very aggressive and deal a ton of damage when you have the right person on that. Mantis Doomed. Gonna find Tap, and that's a huge early pick. Make that 2. Make that 3 as Doom.
Wow.
Soon to be 5. What a piece here. Trying to get point 3, and they will not have teleport. So that should do it for point 2.
Wow. And they're going in with ults. Oh my goodness.
I feel that Black Panther. I mean, my eyes separated. Warrior falls next round, and this is what I was talking about Shib earlier when it does feel like, you know, the Mantis comps against, you know, Triple Stratus, Ultron Mantis alongside the Luna Snow against an Adam Warlock, Cloak and Dagger and Mantis, or any sort of third support, Cloak and Dagger. It could be Luna Snow, it could be Loki, whatever. The biggest problem is that, yeah,
bro, I'm not gonna lie. I think they come back, bro.
Like, you get so much damage.
I think they come back.
If you find a pick,
They're in such a good spot. It's
It's
crazy.
Can his Resurrect back in the fight, and you're just giving up that entire team up by not playing the Adam. I get why. I mean, I've seen in other regions they play that sort of stuff, and I like it. But I feel like nowadays it just feels like the Adam Warlock Guardians comp. It just beats out Triple Strategist if you don't have it on your side. But we saw on Convoy and stuff, it's a little bit different because it's harder to set up those res locations and stuff. But yeah, at least on Domination, it feels like the Adam Warlock comp kind of.
Were those kind of portals when you played? That was a bad portal. What do you mean? Well, it was a good decision, but he didn't portal nothing. He literally canceled it.
I mean, it worked for him last time. Ooh, aggressive.
Kidnap him, too.
Maybe a kidnap play. They are going to like to go back to the beginning, trying to find somebody here. And it goes out, and they are going to heavy commit.
What a sleep.
They do. Impunity onto Avery. What a play here by Shroud X. Going to have to return back to point shortly, shoving it back in the spawn door. Make that 2 as they're going to walk down the rest. 4 seconds before the portal can even be gained. Doomed. Going to try to spin here, but Tap does not miss. You got to be careful up there. Good.
Just give him point, regroup.
And what a play by Shroud X.
And they're escorting Fidel and Nuck again because you can see how terrified they are of Tap. I mean, that guy has done so much before. Even though the reses are up, Vision has his own ultimate. Maybe he'll wait till after he reses to use it to go up to the high ground. This fight going to be drawn out for the side of Shroud X. Obviously, the pick potential is still there for Shroud X, even though on the opposite side, you do have Avery now on Bucky. They have to deal with that quick reset.
Yeah, I mean, ult advantage for Shroud X again. Actually, it's going to get tight here for Teki, who is slightly behind Avery, getting there as well. Here comes.
He's so gone. Wow.
Keeping the team inside of that.
What? Single?
That is a crazy pick. Surprised that came through. Well played as Blur used the clobbering time to help that out. The board again goes out. They're just trying to stall. Great Eye of Agamotto again.
They stalled,
Team
though.
resing back in. Just buy time on the point. Trying to get as much time on as we are at 43%. And Teki is going to lose that
crazy.
soon. Impunity, great pick on to add.
They win it. Literally, it's the 3 ults from having the ults, bro. Good portal and just having the ults from last round, bro. Still have Star-Lord ult. They can't ult in with Cloak now. And then Cap ult too. It's looking like a comeback of a century. Teki with the sale. Let's see.
But we are now at 70% of the point on Warrior Falls. And right now, Shroud are in the lead to keep moving forward on this tournament.
Yeah, now it's a little chess game. Do you want to use that legend to pull out the Meteor M? Yes, you do, apparently. Ooh, good bubble. That was almost an insane position there on the pick. Out goes the Meteor right to the back line. But I believe Bond was out. Nobody taking much damage. Might have been a shield there from Dongman. They are owning this position again. Doom's going to go in here and try to spin, but 48 HP. Good juking. Look at that movement. It is insane. Back onto the point again. But down goes
That's trying to give him a point. 99.
Not going to res up and just try to hold the point. Doom going to res up.
Nice, 99. Just need 99. All you need is a 99 cap. That's it. It's like the biggest round, bro. It sends them to the literally land. Teki has to lock in, bro.
But I mean, what is Shroud going to do, right? Not switch to the name war comp. That's already step number 1. Step number 2, now walk to the point. They have to kind of come back. They will be against double duelist ultimates. Dogman's big before, but sometimes he does go a little bit too aggressive with these Eye of Agamottos and gets picked off.
And what a call out, because Vision, when you have that res available still, you can actually use it to take flight and height. So you can actually fly up to one of those high ground peaks that maybe are not getting looked at, and then you start your res. So great decision there to hold on as out goes Cap. Oh, shot by Avery, down goes Doom. That is an early start here for Teki, who are at 41% and climbing every arm in the game.
Oh, armed and dangerous. Armed and dangerous. He said he's not going home.
This is not going your way with a 4-piece.
Wait, he said he's not going home. Matches ult, nice. Wait. Wait. Soulbond of Doom and Destruction. Soulbond of Doom and Destruction. Soulbond of Doom and Destruction. 2-2. 2-2.
As we do get shoved in, the teleport might come through here for Blur though, and they it does not. Shroud X shoving this to game 5.
Oh my god, and that's all in for them as well. I was a little worried because
2-2 comeback of Doom.
Well, wasn't a part of that res because he went down earlier on, got picked.
Bro, that's insane, like, patience.
So maybe Doom didn't want to commit.
That's insane patience.
They want to commit it, understanding maybe that they didn't need to use it for that Star-Lord. And it was actually a smart.
Bro, 2-2, game on the line. This is like tough.
And able to come back through, play patient. And
gotta win it.
What you need to see out of a team right now against a team like Teki XD, who is formidable. So now we're going to map number 5. I want to see where we get taken to, because currently, I mean, Teki XD, they've been on the back foot, and it's every time it feels like they're right there, Shib. Every time it feels like Teki's about to close out on Shroud X, and then they just lose grip again, man. So map number 5 coming up. I need to see some life out of them, because that was kind of brutal.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
think Shroud X come back. Yeah, I'm not gonna cap. I think it's one of them situations like if they didn't win it there, so now it's like going in. It's like, oh, are they gonna choke? It's that pressure starts seeping in. Like, damn, like they start getting like a little tense. Like, hold on, like, you know, all the momentum that they had is gone. Like, now it's even now, you know.
And 20 after that, and then you get into the teens. It is all about the reses with that composition and just winning the long game. It doesn't matter if you fall, as long as you're patient and calm, and that is where this level of play comes into fruition. It's all about, can you stay calm?
Bro, Tap is literally, yeah, bro. I think he had a whole like round where he didn't die. He's like 23-0. Bro's been pressurizing, literally.
Just finding so many perfectly timed ones as well. And that's a good call out.
They were so used to like Shroud X beat Teki. I'm guessing 3 times. Like every time they played, they beat him every single time. So going into the game, I'm assuming that the majority reason is because like Shroud X wants to play this like Gamma Namor like and it's hard for dive. But Sai has been playing through Gamma Namor going crazy.
What a tug of war here with the channel points betting. Back now heavily favored in Shroud X, and now no longer a 50-50 spread. It was back towards Teki on game 2. It's just been back and forth, but a ton.
Let's see.
That's just a sign of a
2-2.
series, and what a momentum shift again.
It's a sign of gamblers desperately trying to get their money back after losing. You know, it's like they're like, oh no, I bet on the wrong team. Gotta go back the other way. To be honest, Shib, I would not be confident in either team right now. Like both teams, I am nervous for.
Yeah, Gambler's always the healthiest mental. Of course, Avery with the downtown Tom Brady.
Wow, what a kidnap. In the shift.
Good movement there. Likely to see a bond? Maybe not. As they do
Wow, what a sleep.
goes out, I believe, buying some time there, but what a play. You talk about that fastball special and its value, and clearly showed some value there, already at 100 charge there for the Wolverine.
Shroud X is gonna have the advantage on this first point, but it's just like I lost already so much space. But they have the advantage because the Reds is. But once it's like out of first point, it's gonna be tough.
Who's close? Avery's passive pop. Looks like only the Shroud is gonna be up on ult. Says nobody's going down until now. Oh no, Avery.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a good start here. Obviously,
Live. Trust your healers. Yep.
Is on Avery.
Nice.
Trying to find an off-angle play here. Just gonna buy some time, stay invisible in an off-angle, and retake with.
Because the Reds, because it's a capture the point on first point, they have the advantage. Once it like it's stretched out to ults, bro, it's kind of tough going against Cloak Luna versus like Mantis and like Cloak. Like they don't have like less versus like them with damage boost, armed and dangerous.
Buy them some time, Fidel. Getting that ult incredibly quickly. Internal bond, one of the fastest ult gains in the game.
They got all their ults. Did they ult them? Wait. This ult. Yep, they live. Nothing. They live crazy. They can born again if they need to. They're chilling. They're chilling. I think they got him. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be hard to get up into. And they got the res. This first point gonna be tough, bro. Plus with the cap, oh my goodness. And they're running the cap too, just so they won't get ulted. But oh my goodness. I think this is locked down. Like this is locked down, bro. Reses got cap ult. Star-Lord born again. Like they got a lot of ults, bro. Okay, force mag ult. Force them in the building. Try to get everybody. Oh yeah, they're choking. Not over with though, but man, that's a massive pick. Moving though on Star-Lord, moving on him though.
You can see that energy he's using of his booster packs is just very minimal. Constantly
barely using energy.
They can escape when need be. That is a huge.
Okay, we got the wall back.
If you are playing Star-Lord, oh, and that is just crazy. That movement with the fastball special. Down goes Tap again from Fidel.
Tap's choking, man.
I think it's over for Teki. A minute left. I mean,
it's cooked, bro. They got all their ults. But regroup.
So good on that Psylocke, so having him switch over to the Wolverine, I'm not gonna say it's a mistake necessarily just yet, but I don't know. You gotta feel.
Should have kept him Psy. I'm not gonna lie. You should have kept him Psy, bro. Should have kept him Psy, bro. His Psy was frying. Like I get the choice of Wolf. I get the choice of Wolf because you don't want Cap just like bullying in the back. Like, keep him on side, bro. He was undefeated on him. Local. Yep, there's Luna. Wait. Wait, no, Capo. It's cooked. Wait, no, listen. Wait, local. Capped out. Still got Mantis, but it's gonna run out. Born again or we Star-Lord ultin? Star-Lord ultin. Star-Lord ult. Yeah. It's time to fry. Mag ult. Wait. No, born again. Oh no, born again. It's born again. Born again of Doom. Born again of Doom. Born again of Doom upstairs in the room. It's so winnable though. They just full reset. And then they get back up in there just like that. They got ice though. Nice, massive eye. And that's all, folks. Wait. Wait. That res is so strong. That's so strong on on that capture first point. They need to get it. Cause look, they have Reses in main fight. They got Portal in main fight. They got Soulbond in main fight. They got Capward in main fight. Capturing that first point from them is gonna be tough. Now if they captured it, they would have been fine. Like they would have been able to push. Like it's gonna be hard for them to hold space with solo Star-Lord DPS. Like it's gonna be hard for them to hold space. You know what I'm saying? And they have the wall to counter the cap. Like they get past that first point, they're hooping. But they couldn't, cause like they couldn't force no res play. They couldn't force nothing.
Right now, Teki just does not have the answers.
I think it's just GG's, man. They should have kept them on side, but let's see it though. It's not over with. It is not over with.
Whether it's good for their fans' hearts or not, they tend to make games close. So this should be.
Let's see. Let's see. Just you can't choke it. You can't choke it. Like res comp is just tough. Like it's tough, bro. On like the capture, like the first part of like a convoy or convergence, I should say. But then add in like caps, so like you're not like down like with support ult value, and then having strange, so even if you die, you could TP. It's just like a lot, bro. Early TP.
Is that Portal coming on through?
Portal early.
And on this flank, they get that high ground first. 4 minutes left to go. Portal no longer available until the very end, as that is a 160-second cooldown. Teki.
Someone's flanking.
How do they find this opening pick?
At this point, I think we see somebody coming from an off angle, just waiting. Not quite sure who it is yet. Likely the
They're trying to force him into that tunnel. Oh yeah, I think they got him like. Oh no, they left outside. That was actually smart. They forced them backwards. Yeah, they played that well. But they might lose it. They took tunnel. Local. Can't back up. You literally can't back up, but they have to back up. You can back up, but you have to back up. That's GG's, bro. That's GG's, bro. Should have kept her on. Wait. Sio stalling. Gets the portal off. Block though. Blocking it though. Wait, no, they got a wall. It's not over with. Wait, born again. They're back in that tunnel. The tunnel, the strength of the tunnel. Just make them C9. Just literally make them C9. Just kill a tank. Kill a tank. Kill a tank. Can't get dunked. Kill us up. Kill us up. The freeze! They stall. They stall. Teki's not losing. It's never over. It's never over. It's never over. It's never over.
I mean, Waffles, formerly Luna Snow, Avery now Luna Snow. Everybody's just panicking. A minute, 25 seconds left to go.
I versus I. Oh my goodness.
Can you get it done? I mean, both teams.
Like, just hold the portal. Oh my goodness, bro. They went triple tank and stalled it, and then they stayed on, and then they took the tunnel. That tunnel is so strong. That tunnel is literally so strong, bro. This is like stressful, don't the nerves, bro. The nerves. Dagger storm just to stand inside of it. Gonna take some of that damage. Just have this eye. It's all about this eye of Agamotto now on the back line. They do have ad ready with the eternal bond. This has to be a crazy eye. This has to be a crazy eye. Who gets the better eye though? You went Punisher. What's up, one?
timer is finally committed as they use it at 340.
Oh, froze him.
It's frozen again. Wait, hold up. Avery on the
Avery is a dog, bro.
What a play. Vision
Avery is a dog, bro.
good play, and oh my goodness. Can Teki execute
Wait,
this?
they're down us up. They're down us up.
And that is important.
Wait, Warlord of Doom.
Stand on the back line, and that's huge for Tap.
Oh, it's GG's.
It's all about this teleport.
It's GG's. Wait, they have portal though. They have portal though.
Dongman.
Still up port. Need the portal of doom and destruction and despair.
Go, but I don't know on this retouch is
This is for the retouch.
You gotta try to get these ults, Fidel, very close. Doom does have last stand. They are
Who eyed? Eyed support by the door.
the dance floor. The team
Blocked it though. They live.
trading positions and still looking really clean.
Wait,
Teki
end result.
just battling here. Everything against the wall. Can they hold on? We will find out as this is so back and forth. Out goes the invisible boundary. And Tap now trying to work his way with his tackle onto Impunity, who's in trouble.
Wait, trade.
Destroyed. Wuffles goes down.
Wait, two, 1, 1. They won it, bro. That's to the wire. That's to the wire.
freaking game.
That is literally to the wire, bro.
I mean, cinema straight up. That was
Actually, pure cinema.
incredible back and forth between Short Kings. Holy crap. I mean, what a
Like, what, like, that's just like, just not wanting to lose, bro.
Closest game of Marvel Rivals in history.
Came back down 3-2. Fidel's goated, bro. The to stall, to one freeze every like ult attempt in that room, and then match all supporters swapping mid fight to sub. That is tough, bro. That is tough.
amazing gameplay.
I ain't gonna
Because
lie.
holy crap. I mean, I wouldn't need a shower after that one.
You see, you can take some
Big
big clicks.
Instead of the mother back, you know, which is a good thing because that was such a banger.
Today?
Avery with the role swap, with the MVP
That was
at
on
the end, SVP at the end, 10K,
AM.
10K looking like the triple double stats, almost triple 10,000 stats, whatever you want to call it. What a series of Marvel.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
For them today, man. That's the tough
Teki chokes it. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. They choked it crazy. Like, pause, but like, bro, up to like it's a thing. Like, it's a thing.
I mean,
It came down to like the res comp.
I can't wait to watch some of
It
these.
came down to like the res comp, but
Was way closer than it
what really sealed the deal, bro, would really like this.
We're hopping out of here after.
That's one of them games you gotta watch back. You gotta watch back. Like, that's one of them games they don't watch back every single play. They don't, like, it was so many things that led up to, like, you gotta watch back, bro. You gotta watch that one back. I think they just, like, one side should have been. They should have kept tap on side. They should have kept tap on side. I think they should have kept tap on side. But like, definitely you gotta watch that back. Only reason they probably didn't keep tap on side is simply because like res comp, soul bond, so many things that could just counter side level. Like they have like so much stuff to like counter like a side ult. Like, it's just, but him on side, like, it's still like ult aside, just like middle fight, I feel like they could get that. Cause like, you know, like how long Doom wasn't out DPSing them, they wasn't out killing, they were out team and like utilizing like all the utility. That's all it came down to for Shroud X. Like, bro, Doom was using like forcing ults, not forcing ults, using ult when like everything was so timed. Like, I think I look at it like this. Individually, if you went like player for player, Teki has some players that you might be like, okay, yeah, they're better. But if you just look at it as a team, I think the Shroud X, like, they won that. Like, as a team, they won that team exchange, bro. Like, they won that. Like, now, I don't think they're more like in a certain like if you had like the pie chart, I don't think they have like this pie like in this area and this. You just look at it like as a team, bro. They got that team chemistry locked, bro. That trust in each other locked. And I think you just see like they play some really good rivals. Yeah, they play some really good rivals.